love had feet, it would jump into the clouds and refuse to feel the ground again. If love had feet, it would win every marathon, for the slightest of affection you showed would fire its adrenaline every single time. If love had feet, it would wear 20 toe rings on 10 toes, decked with purple gems, looking so very pretty from the outside. If love had feet, it would step into a quicksand willingly. It can't tell the difference between the stable ground and your quicksand love. Thank you. So that is a very short one. Thank you.
Very deep meaning, actually.
Yeah, I'll probably extend that poem a little bit. So for my second poem, there are two options. One is about, it's actually one of my earliest poems. It's a letter from my 8th standard diary to my current travel sketchbook. So it's the perspective of that book. That is one option. And the second option is, so I mean, you can't really see me, but I'm actually very skinny. And so this is something that I've struggled with from my younger age groups. And I think not really about body shaming, but just the way that I have been perceived just for the way that I look. So it's just a poem on that. It's called A Skinny Life. So yeah, I want all of you to help me decide, like, do you want to hear the letter or the skinny life?
Both of them.
Okay, whatever Tanvi says.
Tanvi, like, oh, you said both of them. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I'll start with a letter. So this is a letter from my 8th grade diary to my travel sketchbook in which I, do my paintings. Well, hello there, newbie. I used to be the one, not just a spectator, but the therapist, a collector of the coal and the gems. I was there through the sun and the black hole. March 16th, 2009, Monday, literary week. When she shone on stage during declamation, I bore her words stronger than she did Obama's. May 27th, 2009, Wednesday, a bad rumor. When her best friend didn't live up to the title, I soaked in the ink, as I did the tears, and let the words float away in the tear puddles, while I bravely offered her my loudest whispers of comfort. The ink, sometimes blue, sometimes black, spoke rosy stories, stories without Instagram filters, because with me, she didn't need filters. My lines were chords to her heart's rhythm. My lines became her lines. My lines became her ECG. On days that her pillow didn't make the cut, my hardbound cover was the ground that she held her emotions stable. Her emotions bored their roots into my paper, thin insides, leaf after leaf. This was a bond not bound by thread and glue, but bound by the untold. I heard what she was too afraid to say and felt the words that she scratched off. In that chapter of life, I was the hero. I was the best friend that always lived up to the title. You see, I didn't give her sound advice. I didn't make words appear and disappear like in Harry Potter, but I did have one trick up my sleeve. I knew that the only voice she needed to hear was her own. And she's a great teacher, but just struggled to learn her own lessons. I lent my all. She showed me her most vulnerable side. Dear diary, she said, today was the worst day of my life. What are you waiting for? I'm not going to tell you her secrets. We have a privacy agreement, all 5 words long. This is the private property of Swetha Manivannan. Put it back where you found it. Yeah, well, I was not the strongest when it came to numbers. I didn't realize that my 200 pages would end this soon. I was not prepared when she met the last page. The ink from her pen and that page had met heartbreak way too soon. But none of it was compared to the one I experienced when her words stopped striking me. Now, I see she's found your leather-bound interiors, opening up your handmade papers with sunflower seeds and sunflower petals. Her ink is now colored, her expression more mature. Her moods splashes itself as watercolors, leaving her mark everywhere she travels, just like the bookmark she set me up with. She intricately captures the architectural details and open-hearted sees, except now words don't satisfy her, nor does she, or actually she doesn't trust you with her words. You see, I've made peace with the different pieces of memories that she did not share with me. But remember, she has exposed you to social media, making you look pretty, but hey, I am exclusive. Hidden in the nook of the third wardrobe drawer, just like her first love letter in my midriff. I am for her eyes only. So this is what I ask of you. She may have found a new way of expression, but she is always a treasure trove of rich experiences and strong perspectives. My 200 pages were just fragile to continue carrying her legacy. So in some borrowed space, I sincerely write, August 17th, Saturday, 2019. Acceptance. Dearest newbie, live up to your peers because congratulations, you are now the one.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, if diaries could speak, exactly the same thing happened to me. Like I write and now I started drawing a lot, but I started posting my drawings on like Insta and all that. And I feel like my diary is like, what about us? So
Right.
I'm like, you're there. And one day I just thought of throwing them away and I felt like they're looking from the shelf. What? कैसे सोचा तुमने? Like, how can you? And then I'm like, okay, chill, bro. You're not going anywhere. So that was so good. Now the other one, the skating one.
Are you sure? I mean, I don't like. Do we have time? Like,
I think what we can do is we can keep it for later half.
sure.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So let's ask Usha ma'am.
Swetha, it was really mesmerizing, the words used by you, imagery used by you. In the first poem, it was a short and sweet poem, If Love Had Feet. What a beautiful imagery you have used, what a group of imagery you have used, and what a beautiful imagination. So I would like to advise you, please complete that poem. That poem has got some more to express and it has to reach to many. So work on it. And the second poem, the diary. Yeah, see, life is like we are covering up many milestones in life. So when during our childhood days and the school days, even in my school days, I was so skinny like you. So even I had gone through such feelings also, such emotions. And as you said, as and how different changes are happening, different phases in life, when we are accepting, when we are going through that, accordingly, we are molding us up accordingly, isn't it? So the present Swetha and the Swetha in the school days, so beautifully you have picturized. Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
I think we can ask Shruti. Shruti, you are not audible. There is some problem with your maybe earphones or.
Just
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
till then someone can else go, I think.
Okay. Okay. We can ask Vimi.
Yeah. See, I'm actually not a poet person, or but listening to the poem, the diary. I mean, it was. I mean, actually, it touched my heart. It was so beautifully written. I mean, great job, Shweta. I mean, cheers to you. Keep
Thank you so much.
keep writing, and I love to listen that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Sorry, Shruti.
I was saying that I really like those people who can put their thoughts into words because I struggle with that. But I really enjoy reading stuff and that poem, that if love had feet, just it was so nice and it was so I didn't want it to end. It was so good, and the second one as well. But the first one just took my heart.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think like when I was reading the first one, even I felt it should have been longer. So yeah, I will try to write more on that.
Okay, Aarti.
So one thing, there are poetries about monuments and nature and all that, but there are poetries like this that are so relatable, and it's like Dil Ki Baat Bol De types poetry, and it was so relatable. It just reminded me of the small letters that I used to write as a kid and hide it in my books, and I somehow discover these letters now and read them, and they're cute in a way, but they also say a lot of things about what you've been through and what all you've seen. And as teenagers, young adults, it was so relatable. And more power to you. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Rajat.
Just one word, superb. That's all I can say.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Swetha. Amazing poetries. Both the poetries were quite amazing. Maza aa gaya. Thoroughly enjoyed. Thank you so much.